Hi! This video is an update to my previous video Unreal Engine 5 Retarget Animations demo, which I believe is not enough to handle all the issues you will face with retargeting. This video shows you some additional ways that you can use to fix some problems and improve your retargeting workflows. The first thing I want to cover is mentioning about the import pose from animation sequence, which I didn't realize exists on my previous video. With this, you don't have to do the extra steps of creating a pose asset. Then I will show you how to fix foot sliding using the speed planting workflow, which I think is very important too. Foot sliding can be hard to accept. Then I will show you how you can fix an animation in the Unreal sequencer. When the IK retargeter can't give you what you want, we will animate it manually. We will be using a control rig made for UE4 mannequin, and unfortunately it only works in UE 5.3 and only works for UE4 compatible skeletons. Then I will show you how to use a free plugin to create root motion from Mixamo animations. The plugin is also able to snap IK bones to selected joints. Finally, I am going to show you a way to solve this error when uploading to Mixamo Auto Rigger. I will show you the basics of editing a retarget pose here, which is quite important but somehow not covered in my previous video. I hope you find these informations useful. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
In my previous video, I showed you how to create a pose asset from an animation sequence and then import it into the IK retargeter. Actually, you don't have to do the extra work of creating a pose asset, because there's another button just below it to import straight from animation sequence. The T-pose we imported earlier from the pose asset is the same as the T-pose that we import from the animation sequence. To show you the foot sliding, I have selected Bellica's left foot's ball joint, and let us be sure the source animation is good. Then I select Shinya's left ball joint. We can see the foot slides a little bit during the animation. On my previous video, I have suggested to use the IK option, blend to source, to fix problems like this. But quite often, I find using this option ruins the pose. When I turn it on in this scenario, the legs stretch out and becomes too straight. It makes the pose looks unnatural. Turn off the blend to source option and we will look at another way. Unreal Engine's documentation has a section on how to fix foot sliding using the speed planting workflow. You can read the documentation for more informations. I will show you how to apply this. Note that you need to do this for each animation that you want to fix. First, I am going to locate the animation, idle relaxed, and open the animation. In the animation editor, go to the Windows menu and look for Animation Data Modifiers to open it. In the Animation Data Modifiers window, add a Motion Extractor modifier. In the modifiers setting, set the bone name to ball L. Set the motion type to translation speed and set the axis to XYZ. Repeat this for the right foot. Bone name is ball_R. Motion type is translation speed, and axis is XYZ. Click on Apply All Modifiers. When we apply all modifiers, we will find two new animation curves being generated. These curve data can then be used by the IK retargeter to see at what point it should lock the foot. Back to IK retargeter, we will turn on the speed planting option for both the foot IKs. Select left leg and right leg. Turn on speed planting. For the speed curve name, we will copy the curve name from the animation editor. After we entered the curve names, the foot looks more stable. To fix foot sliding for another animation, we will have to repeat the same process. We will be using the same curve name by the way. So to show you the difference, this is before speed planting, and this is after speed planting. But I found one of the animation have a problem using this technique. For emote salute, after I added the motion data curve to the animation, for some reasons, the right foot locked to the ground at the wrong position. It is strange. When I disable speed planting, it doesn't happen. I am not sure how to fix this, but for cases which can't be fixed in IK Retargeter, our last resort is to manually fix the animation. I am going to show you how you can fix an animation in Unreal Sequencer next. I am going to use the idle pistol animation as an example. To animate in Unreal Sequencer, you need to have a control rig for the character. Fortunately, I found a control rig that we can use. It is shared in this YouTube video by Rokoko. They provided some free resources for us, and inside it includes a control rig for UE4 mannequin. This asset was created by Alberto Flores, a very talented UE creator, and Rokoko Discord mod. I have already downloaded it. However, this control rig only works on Unreal Engine 5.3. I will copy the control rig to my Retarget folder. This is the control rig for UE4 mannequin. I will be able to use this control rig on my character Shinya because Shinya has the same skeleton as the UE4 mannequin. To edit the animation, first we need to export this animation from the IK Retargeter. Open the Retargeted animation. In the Animation Editor window, click on the Edit in Sequencer button. Uncheck Filter Asset by Skeleton, then select Bake to Control Rig, and select the control rig with Auto Setup in its name. Click Bake to Control Rig. We should see Unreal created a new level sequence and opens the sequencer window for us. The animation is placed in the center of the world. We can use the G key to hide the controls in the viewport. If we have our selection focused on the sequencer, we can press spacebar to play the animation. We can loop the animation with this button. These are the animation controls that we can use to pose the character. The green triangles are the animation keys. The timeline is full of triangles because when we baked the animation to the control rigs, the controls are being keyed every frame. I can grab a control to move the character hand, for example. We didn't set any key, so when we play the animation the hand snaps back to where it was. One thing that I would like to point out though, this animation is not the exact same animation as the one that we exported. If we bring the animation that we exported into the same level, and place them on top of each other, we will see a bit of mismatch between the two. I will add the retargeted idle pistol animation to the sequencer so the animations can be played together. For some animations this might not be a big problem, and in some cases, the difference can be hard to tell. I switch to the top view, and in this wireframe view, we can see the difference is mostly on the arms. I think the pole vector is not being solved correctly. That said, to fix the hand pose, we will create an additive animation track. To create an additive track, click on this plus button here. And select additive. The additive layer animation is placed below the base animation. I will set the range of this additive layer to cover the whole range of this animation. I can use the search box to show just the tracks that I want to see. Then I scrub the timeline to the first frame. Select the left-hand control and move it to a better position. Then set a key. We can mute the track to disable it. I mute the additive track to show you the changes we made on top of the base animation. I am pressing the undo and redo key to toggle the track. I am going to animate the head too just for an example. Select the head control. Set a start key and end key in the track to hold the pose at those frames. And between those two frames, I will set some keys so she turn her head during that time frames. I can Alt key drag on a key to duplicate the key to another frame. Play the animation and we can see now the character is turning her head. Next I am going to show you a way you can try to fix foot sliding. Find the left foot control. Select the one on the baked animation track. Select all the keys in the middle and delete it. I will do the same for the right foot. This works for this scenario, but for other animations, you probably want to duplicate the key to hold it. It depends on your animation skills from here. Once we are happy with our animation, we can bake this animation out to a new animation sequence. I baked it out to the same location, and using just the default settings. So here is our fixed animation. For the next section, I am going to show you how to fix the root motion problem we had with Mixamo animations and how to snap the IK bones to the hands and feet. In this drunk walk animation, the root bone doesn't move with the character. The IK bones are also not following the body. To fix this, we can use the Bone Snapper plugin created by Tan Long Lu. You can get this free plugin at the Unreal Marketplace. He also has a video in his YouTube channel, which is this one, which I learned from how to use this plugin. He also provided a documentation. To install this plugin to Unreal Engine from Epic Games Launcher, you need to run Epic Games Launcher as administrator. You also need to close Unreal Engine first, otherwise you will get an error message. After installation, we reopen our project and open the plugins window. Look for Free Bone Snapper and enable it, and restart Unreal Editor. Open the IK rig window for Shinya. The bone snapper can be found in the IK rig. You will see the option when you add new solver. We will add bone snapper to Shinya's IK rig. Then right-click on the pelvis bone to set root bone on selected solver. We can switch it on and off to see the effects. Now the root bone is moving together with the character. To move the IK bones with the body, we will add some bone settings. Right-click on both IK hand root and IK foot root to add settings to them. I created a map to make it easier to see. On the left are the IK bones, and on the right are their destination bones. You can set the destination bone in the Details panel. For IK hand root and IK foot root, set their destination bone to root, so these two IK bones will always snap to the root bone. Toggle the bone snapper like this to update. I will do the same for the rest of the IK bones. Now the IK bones are following the body. We can export this animation. By the way, there's also a function in Bone Snapper that allows you to generate in-place animation from moving animation. All you need to do is tick this checkbox. This is how the in-place animation looks. If you see this error when uploading a character to Mixamo, it could be the extra bones in your character. Try to delete the extra bones in your 3D software and upload again. I will show you how I do it in Maya because to this day I still don't know how to manipulate bones in Blender. In the case of Serath, I deleted the wings and the weapon bones and re-export the FBX and re-upload to Mixamo. This time it works. After that, remember to download the T-pose without skin. I already downloaded it and also renamed it. I have also imported Serath into the project. Now I will import the FBX file into the T-pose folder. Then I will create an IK rig for her, by duplicating an existing IK rig. Then I will create an IK retargeter, to retarget Serath's animations to Shinya. Show retarget pose. Select source to import T-pose for Serath. Import from animation sequence. Select the T-pose that we generated from Mixamo and imported earlier. Select target, and we will also import T-pose for Shinya. One thing I noticed with T-pose generated with Mixamo is the feet sometimes rotated outward slightly. We can fix this, but first, let's create a copy of the current T-pose so we can compare them later. With the copy of the pose selected, we click on the three dots and switch to Edit Retarget Pose. In this editing mode, we can rotate the bones. Switch to the top view. And rotate the foot a little bit. We will copy the rotation value to the right foot. Another problem I found with Serath T-pose is her fingers here. Somehow it has flipped a 180 degrees to the inside. We can select the finger bone and zero out the rotate Z values. Do the same for the pinky bone. I think I also need to roll the pinky finger a little bit. On the right-hand side, we got the same problem, plus one broken ring finger, not found on the left side. So always check the T-pose that are generated from Mixamo. They are not perfect, and it's best to always check the skeleton from top to bottom. I guess this is good enough, for this demo at least. Switch back to running Retarget and let's test an animation. I will switch between the two poses to compare. It seems like the index finger rotation also needs some fixing. Let's check out the feet. This is the end of the video and I hope it is helpful to you. See ya and take care.